Welcome to today's morning boost yoga class, a little sequence that I've made for you guys to help energize you guys on those mornings where you need to start a little bit of me time on the mat. We'll start, as always, in a comfortable seated position. So for this, you can sit down on a block or directly on the mat with your ankles crossed or with your feet out in front of you. We'll start here, simply taking a moment to arrive in the body. So finding that seated position, gently closing the eyes. You can rest the hands on the lap or on the knees. And bringing the awareness to the breath. Tuning into the gentle rise and fall of the breath. Tuning into the pace and depth of the breath. And tuning into the space the breath fills. Gently allowing the breath to deepen, going all the way down to the bottom of the lungs. And once you've made a good connection, allowing the breath to start from there. If comfortable, breathing in through your nose rather than your mouth. But avoid holding or shortening the breath and simply allowing it to flow. And then bringing the awareness to the body, becoming aware of the distribution of the weight, points of contact with the mat, your seat bones, your ankles, distributing your weight evenly. And bringing your awareness to the rest of your body, growing tall through your spine, rolling the shoulders backwards and downwards. Without dropping the head forwards, gently tucking in the chin and bringing it parallel to the mat. Creating a sense of space throughout your whole body. As well as that pace and depth of the breath, we want to maintain that sense of length and space throughout the session. We'll stay here for a moment, starting the session by chanting one Om together. Inhale. Om. Bringing the hands together at heart center. Bowing the head down, bringing the hands to the third eye. Namaste. Resting the hands on the knees again. Exhale to drop the chin to the chest. Inhale to raise the gaze. Imagine there's an orange-sized space at the base of the neck. And exhale to drop the chin to the chest. Inhale to raise the gaze. And exhale, chin to chest. Inhale to raise the gaze. And exhale, chin to chest. Inhale back to center. Exhale to look over the right shoulder. Inhale to the center. And exhale, looking over the left shoulder. Inhale to the center. Exhale to the right. Inhale to the center. Exhale to the left. And inhale to the center. Then bringing the arms parallel to the mat. Inhale to bring the hand palms upwards. And exhale to rotate the shoulders in their sockets. Inhale, bringing the palms upwards. And exhale to rotate backwards. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. And the next exhale, dropping the right hand onto the mat, reaching the left arm up and over. Any pain in the neck, looking straight ahead, otherwise looking up towards the sky. Breathing into the stretch in that left side of the body. Really imagine you're reaching for something with your left arm. And inhale, back to center, lifting both arms. Exhale towards the left side, really reaching that right arm, looking straight ahead or looking up. Breathing into that side of the body. And inhale, back to the center. Exhale to place the left hand on the right knee and the right hand behind us. Twisting to look over the right shoulder. So as you inhale, really lifting, and exhale to twist. And inhale, back to center, raising both arms. Exhale to twist towards the left, placing the right hand on the left knee, left hand behind us, and twisting to look over the left shoulder. Twists are a very powerful practice. They're very good at releasing blocked energies. So in this way, twist can help to release emotions. And inhale to come back to center. Exhale to release the arms. We're going to place the hands onto the mats, coming onto our hands and our knees here. Coming into our cat and cow stretches. So we've got the knees stacked under the hips, the wrists underneath the elbows and the shoulders. Inhale to lift the gaze and the tailbone, dropping the belly and lower back. And exhale to drop the gaze and the tailbone, raising that back. Inhale to raise the gaze and the tailbone. And exhale to hunch the back, creating as much movement in the vertebra as possible. Inhale to raise the gaze and the tailbone. And exhale to hunch the back. Inhale to raise the tailbone and the gaze. And exhale to hunch the back. And inhale back into the center. Tucking the toes in, we're coming into our first Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. For now, we're going to keep this a dynamic posture to warm up. So starting by straightening one leg and then straightening the other. As if you're walking here. Gently warming up the legs. Warming up the ankles. Seeing how the body feels. And then as for little steps, we're going to step one foot in front of the other on our tiptoes as if we're walking a tightrope. Bending the knees, coming up onto the fingertips. Going all the way to the front of the mat, coming into a forward fold here. As we exhale, we're going to place the hands on the hips. And as we inhale, coming all the way back up to standing with a straight back. And releasing the arms here. From here, finding Tadasana Mountain Pose at the front of the mat. Again, distributing the weight evenly over the feet. Growing tall from the connection to the ground all the way to the crown of the head. Inhale to raise the arms up, looking straight ahead. And exhale to forward fold. Inhale to place the hands on the shin, straightening the back and opening the chest. And exhale to fold. Inhale to place the palms onto the mat, bending the knees, stepping the right and left foot backwards. And exhale to place the knees, chest and chin onto the mat. Any pain in the neck or in the back, feel free to place the hips onto the mat and lie down on your stomach here. Inhale, bringing the hips down, raising the chest up, coming into our baby cobra. And exhale, moving through tabletop to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Holding here for 5 breaths. We're here to take the weight out of the wrist, really pressing the thumb and index finger into the mat and spreading the fingers. Imagine you're pressing the ground away with your hands, raising the hips up. You can keep your knees bent here for now, or straighten out the legs, sinking the heels towards the mat. And looking up in between the hands, inhale to step the right and left foot forwards, placing the hands on the shins, straightening the back, coming into our half lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale with straighter bent knees and a straight back, coming all the way back up to standing, reaching the arms up overhead. Exhale to release the arms back down. Once more to inhale, reaching the arms up overhead. Exhale to fold over straighter bent knees. Inhale, hands on the shins, straightening the spine, opening the chest. And exhale to fold. Inhale to place the palms on the mat and step the right and left foot back. And exhale to place the knees, chest and chin onto the mat. Inhale to lower the hips, bring the chest up, looking straight ahead, coming into our baby cobra. And exhale, moving through tabletop to downward facing dog. From here, inhale to reach the right leg up. We're going to bend the knee, bringing the knee as high as possible. So we're bringing the right foot towards the outside of the hips now, really opening up the hips here, coming into a bit of a twist. Holding it here. And as we exhale, we're going to bring that knee forwards, placing it in between the hands at the top of the mat. Replacing the right ankle so that it's on the outside of the left hip. And straightening that left leg, seeing if we can sink the hips downwards. We're here actively pulling the hips towards the left side to avoid collapsing towards the right. We're really trying to keep the hips in the center. We can come up onto the fingertips or place the hands onto the mat, but keeping that chest open, the shoulders away from the ears, and looking straight ahead, finding our pigeon pose here. You can stay here or to add a quadricep stretch to this one as well. Bending that back knee, reaching that left arm back, grabbing a hold of that left foot here. And holding it here. If at any point this becomes too intense, simply releasing the foot. And exhale to release. Placing the hand back down, tucking the toe under, lifting the knee, coming back up to that three-legged dog. Holding it here. You could choose to place the right foot down at this point and to go for a vinyasa. Otherwise, following me, coming into a three-legged staff pose. So coming into our plank position, but keeping that right leg elevated. So this is a slightly stronger pose. Again, pressing the fingertips into the mat here to protect the wrists here. As we exhale, keeping that foot elevated if you can, coming for our chaturanga. And inhale for Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, coming back to that three-legged downward dog, keeping that right foot lifted. And exhale to drop that right foot down. We're going to repeat this one on the other side, starting by raising that left foot up, bending at the knee, bringing that left knee up as high as possible. So bringing that left foot towards the outside of the hip, really opening the hips up. And as we exhale, bringing that knee forwards, placing it in between the hands at the top of the mat, placing that left foot towards the outside of the hips, straightening that right leg, sinking the hips down, pulling the hips towards the right, keeping the chest open, the shoulders away from the ears, looking straight ahead. And then staying here, alternatively bending that right knee, reaching the right hand behind, grabbing a hold of the ankle and staying here for quadricep stretch. And this stretch is very intense, so whenever it becomes too much, simply releasing the foot back down. And exhale to release. Placing the hand down on the mat, tucking the toe in, lifting the knee up, coming back to our three-legged dog, really stretching that left leg out behind us. On the exhale, you can choose to either place that foot back down and to go for a regular vinyasa, or follow me coming into our three-legged staff pose here. So this really helps to build strength and stamina, using the core, using the muscles of the glutes. As we exhale, bending the elbows, and inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, lifting that left leg back up, and then dropping that down, coming to our regular downward facing dog for a moment, recentering here. And looking up in between the hands, inhale to step the right and left foot forwards, hands on the shins for halfway lift. Exhale to forward fold. And inhale, bring the arms all the way up, looking straight ahead. Exhale for Samastiti. For this next inhale, we're going to go into a bit of version B of the Surya Namaskar. Inhale to bend the knees, sweeping the hands along the mat, bringing the arms up, looking straight ahead, coming to Utkatasana, chair pose. Avoid arching the back, really tucking the tailbone down and under, keeping the knees bent. Imagine the arms are lifted upwards, holding this strong pose here. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale to place the hands on the shins, lift the chest for a halfway lift. And exhale to fold. Inhale to place the palms on the mat, stepping the right and left foot back. And then placing the knees, chest and chin onto the mat. Inhale to place the hips on the mat, bringing the chest up, finding our baby cobra. And exhale, moving through tabletop to downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale to lift the right leg backwards. And exhale to step the right foot towards the top of the mat. You can choose to keep your left heel lifted, otherwise bringing the foot slightly closer in and placing the left heel onto the mat. Inhale to come up to Virabhadrasana A, Warrior One. So keeping the knee bent so that the right knee is above the right ankle. Keeping the hips and the shoulders square to the short edge of the mat. And imagine you're still lifting and lengthening from the tailbone all the way to the fingertips. As somebody is pulling your arms up, still maintaining all of that length. Exhale to plant the hands back down. Stepping that right foot back, placing the knees, the chest and chin onto the mat. Inhale for baby cobra and exhale for Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale to raise the left leg and exhale to step the left leg to the front of the mat. Keeping your right heel lifted or placing your right heel onto the mat. And inhale to come into Virabhadrasana A, warrior pose. The left knee is over the left ankle. The hips and the shoulders are square to the short edge of the mat. You're maintaining that length through the body. Imagine you're trying to tear the mat apart with your feet, really feeling that grounding power. This is a very good posture, again, for strength, also for opening the hips. And exhale to place the palms onto the mat, stepping that left foot back and placing the knees, chest and chin onto the mat. Inhale for baby cobra and exhale, coming back to Adho Mukha Svanasana, holding here for 5 breaths. And from here, bending the knees, looking up ahead and either jumping or stepping to the front of the mat, coming into a seated position. So this next posture is a shoulder stand. So I will demonstrate this one first, as this one is a little bit more technical, before doing it alongside you guys. If you do have any problems with vertigo or your neck, I would avoid doing this posture and go into child's pose instead. So for this one, you start off on your back with your knees bent, bringing the arms down alongside you, and tucking the knees into the chest, lifting the feet up, and placing the hands on the lower back for support. Really imagine being pulled by a cord, running all the way to your toes, creating that length. And to get back down, bending the knees, and gently rolling back down, vertebra per vertebra, nice and controlled. So we'll do that one together now. Coming onto your back, keeping the knees bent, the arms alongside the body, tucking the knees into the chest, and raising the legs up, supporting the lower back with your hands. Avoid moving your head from left to right here. Try to keep the neck still to protect the neck. And lifting and lengthening here. Whenever you want to come back down, simply releasing as I've previously shown, otherwise holding it here for 10 breaths. Feel like you want to come back down, releasing the hands and gently rolling back down vertebra for vertebra. Otherwise, joining me for Halasana. Again, any neck problems, I would avoid this one. And definitely make sure to keep your neck still during this. For Halasana, we're going to gently start to bring the feet above the head here, bringing the feet towards the mat, keeping your hands to support your lower back, or if you can touch your toes onto the mat, you can straighten the arms out behind you, pressing your palms into the mat or interlocking the fingers and squeezing the shoulders backwards. We'll be holding this one for 10 breaths. Come back out of this posture. First releasing the hands, pressing the palms into the mat. You bend the knees, but gently rolling back down, vertebra per vertebra, starting all the way at the top. And eventually bringing the hips back down. As a counter posture to this, we'll be coming into Asana fish pose. So coming up onto the elbows, placing the elbows closer together, and bringing the hands underneath the hips here. You can either have the knees bent, resting the head back, placing it on the mat. Alternatively, you can straighten the legs and then drop the head back onto the mat. So Asana fish pose. It's a counter posture helping to realign the spine after that quite deep bend that we just did in Halasana. It's also a heart opener. Again, an energizing posture. Releasing energy, releasing emotion as well. Just 5 more breaths in this posture. And gently starting to lift the head up, sucking into the chin, rolling onto your back here, releasing the arms, bending the knees here. And from here we can roll onto our side, or alternatively crossing at the ankles, grabbing a hold of the feet or the ankles here, and rocking back and forth. Gently coming back to a seated position. So again, finding that comfortable seat, whether it be directly on the mat or on a block, with the ankles crossed or the legs straight, or even in Padmasana, resting the hands on the thighs or the knees. This will be our final posture for this class. And here, gently closing the eyes again. Taking a moment here to tune back into the body, to see how the body feels after this practice. Maybe you can still feel some of the muscles working from some of the slightly more challenging poses of today. Or maybe you can feel energy flowing through you. And taking a moment here to tune back into the breath. Tuning into the gentle rise and fall of the breath. Tuning into the pace and depth of the breath. Tuning into the space the breath fills. And then gently allowing that breath to deepen and to flow to all parts of the body. As it flows through, expanding, warming those parts of the body, maybe sending energy through those parts of the body for this morning practice. Feeling that morning boost flowing through the body. Seeing how this makes your body feel, seeing how this makes you feel. Taking a moment to thank yourself for taking the time out for this practice today. Maybe even setting an intention for the rest of the day. Gently arriving back in the present moment. We'll end the class here together by chanting 1 Om and 3 Shantis. Inhale. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Bringing the hands together at heart center. Bowing the head down and bringing the hands up to the third eye. Opening the eyes. Namaste. Thank you for joining today.